Hello and welcome to Let's Preview, and this is going to be the Let's Preview ahead of the Newcastle game. I'm going to do a little bit of a walking round one today. So yeah, alright, we're coming off the back of the Champions League game, and we're not in generally the best form anyway. I think if you looked on form right now, Newcastle actually have better form than we do. And it's always going to be a tough game against Newcastle. We don't necessarily have the best, latest results record against Newcastle. I think we've lost one, won one, and drew one in the last couple of times that we played them. So I mean, it's going to be a difficult game regardless. And we're coming up against a Benitez Newcastle, which I don't think we've done yet. We may have done actually. I can't remember. I think he maybe got a 2-2 against us when they were last in the Premier League. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. We're not coming off the most positive result in the Champions League. I mean, it's not the most negative. We didn't lose. But at the same time, obviously, there's going to be, there's questions about our attacking, there's questions about our defence, and obviously they do have some problem players. It depends who they start with and stuff like that as well. But if they can actually do like their passing moves and such like that you've seen them do against West Ham, which maybe they aren't the best team in the Premier League, but I mean, at the same time, if they get the chances in and around our defence, we do not have the best defence in the Premier League by a frigging country mile. So, I mean, if they do get chances, and they probably could take them, yeah, we could. I do think this is going to be, it's one of those things. I'm going to predict that we're not going to keep a clean sheet for damn sure. No way we're going to keep a clean sheet. But we have got to start taking these chances that we're creating. Because if, like the stats are saying, in the last 6 games, we've had 112 goal-scoring chances, and we've scored 7. That's a hell of a lot of chances. Obviously, people, there's Twitter accounts and stuff like TFR and such like that, obviously taking the mick out of Liverpool. And to be fair, I'm not saying rightly so, but if you create that many chances, you open yourselves up to being criticised a hell of a lot. Like, I honest to God could not care less what the likes of Rio Ferdinand and such like that think of Liverpool and such like that, because he played for a rival. So as unbiased as he likes to possibly come across, same with Gary Neville, I don't care what they think. And this sometimes same goes with likes of Carragher and Souness and all that lot as well. We can all see it. Now obviously my thoughts on like the likes of Carragher and such, especially criticising the defence, yet, why not go back and, offer your services to Liverpool or something like that, instead of just sitting there and criticising, making a wage packet of criticising and such like that. But that's another issue completely. That's just my thoughts on that. I think if you can criticise it, but I think why not get involved and go back and maybe help out. He was one of the better defenders that we had, in recent memory. But hey, that's just my opinion. Anyway, let's get to the game for Newcastle. So I'm thinking, with the fact that like Sadio Mane was substituted wrongly, in my opinion, in the Champions League, that he should be starting against Newcastle and should be able to cause their defence problems. Now, a key player for them in their defence is obviously their captain. I think it's Jamal Lascelles. Don't exactly know how you say his second name, but he doesn't only, he puts in some good defensive performances, but he also comes up with some headers, some goals for them as well. Crucial headers as well that have won them games. So, I mean, I think before they lost against Brighton, I think they'd won 3 in a row. And I think they'd kept some clean sheets in there as well. So, I mean, they can string some results together. That's what you're going to get with Benitez. He can do it. I think they're sitting 9th in the table right now. We're sitting 5th. It's going to be basically how organised can their defence be. And obviously, we know Benitez, he can organise his defence very, very well. And he can be very compact, very difficult to break down, which I'm anticipating. And it just means that our forwards are going to have to be so on it, it's going to be unbelievable. Now then you're looking at the striker situation as well, and I think it's time to give Firmino a rest. I'm not criticising Firmino and saying that he shouldn't be used, but I just think as a starting striker, I think he's got to be given a rest. I think you've got to give someone else a chance, because he's been starting out and playing all these games, and I just think it's starting to either burn him out, or he's just not being able to have the impact that he wants and that we want him to have as well, and that we know he can have. People are already starting to say, oh, it's the curse of the number 9. It's like, no, it's really not, because he didn't start the season badly. It's just he's not having the impact that we know that he can have. And to be fair, he's still not an out-and-out striker. If you go back to his time at Hoffenheim, he played in behind a striker, and he was very, very good there. And I still think that could be a role for him to be used in future. It depends. There's so many different options that I'm looking at the front three. Now, options for the front three as I'm talking, there's different kinds of options that we could have. Now, obviously, one of the ones that I would love us to try would be to have Mane down the middle. And I know what people are thinking, but Coutinho doesn't want to play on the left. We do have another option there as well, though, and people won't be a fan of it. But you've got Markovic, who got included in the 25-man squad, who hasn't really been given a shot with us. He's been playing with the under-23s and had quite an impact with those guys. I think when they played Tottenham last, he got an assist in that one as well, in the under-23s games, and they won it, I think 4-2. There was a lot of good performances in that one. But I think you could easily put Sadio Mane down the middle, which I think down the middle is where he got the fastest hat-trick in Premier League history with Southampton was when he played down the middle. And I can't remember who they were playing against, but that was dangerous. And he got a hat-trick in like 2 minutes 50 seconds, something like that. And I'm certainly not saying as soon as you put him down the middle, he's going to score hat-tricks. No, I don't believe that whatsoever, but I think it's something different. And I said this in the Champions League review as well, that it's something different and we need to try something a little bit different. Which then also means that you can still put Salah on the right-hand side, you've got pace there, and then you can have Markovic on the left-hand side, you've got pace there, and then you've got Coutinho just in behind, being the creative unit that he can be. Now, obviously, the other options that you've got would be Daniel Sturridge in the striking position, Sadio Mane still out wide, or Solanke, which would be my preferred option if we're going to go that way in terms of starting an actual striker. That would be my option to go with, because you've got to have a physical presence up against the likes of against Lascelles, because I can't remember the name of their other defender at Newcastle. Sorry about that, but I just can't. But maybe a physical presence like that who can actually challenge for the balls, get up high, can hold the ball up as well. That could be another option, and I think it could be a good option. My preferred options would be either go with Solanke up front and Mane out wide, same as usual, or go with Mane through the middle, maybe bring in Markovic so you can still have Coutinho in that midfield area. You're not gonna piss him off too much by putting him in there, by putting him out wide again, because he quite clearly doesn't want to play out wide for us. And I think that could be a good one for us to do as well. And you've still got maybe Salah out wide. Now it depends as well who's going to get rested in this game, because we played a lot of our, that front four that we played, which was Firmino, Mane, Salah, and Coutinho in behind, obviously, in the Champions League, they all started and they all played quite a lot of minutes. So I'm hoping he hasn't looked at this and just thought, right, this is going to be my opportunity to rotate again, and we're going to see a completely different lineup. I don't know. Maybe if we're going on an outside rotation or something like that, outside chances of rotation, I'd maybe bring in Danny Ings, because I think he can be a good dangerous striker as well. I don't know. I know people are wanting Sturridge to start at the start there as well. I just don't think Sturridge has got it right now. I think he needs to. I don't know what he needs to do. He just doesn't have the pace to get in and around defences anymore. He does get shots off every now and again, but you can tell that he's snatching at chances and stuff like that, and he's not necessarily going to have the impact that we want him to have. I could be completely wrong, and he could come out and do a proper almost man of the match performance, but I just think you've got to try something a little bit different. I think the Firmino coming on, Sturridge coming on, it's just a little bit tried and tested. People expect it. Why not give likes of Solanke a chance, or go and Mane through the middle, maybe even Salah through the middle as well, because he's absolutely dangerous in the box. The rest of the team, I don't know. I think you're probably maybe looking at we're playing away, so probably not Wijnaldum, and especially not at Newcastle, because or maybe he might think that he's playing back at home. I don't know, because he used to play at Newcastle, obviously. I don't know. But it'll probably end up going with either Milner and Henderson, or Emre Can and Henderson, obviously with Phil Coutinho just in front of them. That's what I would expect. Anyway, he could throw a curveball and put Grujic in there or something like that, but hey, who knows? Obviously, Joe Gomez couldn't be used in the Champions League because he was suspended. I forgot about that when I did my preview. So you could see Joe Gomez come back in there at right back. I expect to see Matip and Lovren, or Matip and Klavan, and Andrew Robertson as well. He needs to come in at left back, I think. I just think he needs to come in. He's going to give you a load of chances coming into the box. And if we start Solanke and you have Andrew Robertson at left back winging those crosses in, man, that'd be ace. Because he's such a dangerous crosser of the ball. He creates so many chances. It'd be awesome to have them on the starting sheet as well. Goalkeeper, it's got to be Mignolet. It's got to be Mignolet. There's no way it can be Karius. Not a chance. Karius is I think that experiment's done in my opinion, or it should be done. But most likely we'll still see him in the Champions League. But I think it's got to be Mignolet. If not, it'll be Danny Ward, but most likely Mignolet. And then it's the international break. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I hate the international break. Why do we have so many of them? But that is what it is. That's my sort of predicted lineup. In terms of scores and stuff like that, we are going to concede because we just concede. That's a Liverpool way. You know, people talk about, oh, the Liverpool way of this, that and the other, and you know, you've got other teams say, oh, this is like our way of playing. Our way is we're pretty much going to concede, and if we don't concede, we're probably going to draw it like 0-0. So I'm going to say we're going to... it's really difficult to predict the win. I think we can win. It depends who we start with, but we've apparently got no new injury concerns, so for me, there's no reason for us not to go out with one of our strongest lineups and maybe a little bit of a change up front. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory. I think it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a frustrating game, getting through a Benitez set-up team, but I think we can do it. It's whether we do it on the day. We've got the talent to do it. We create the chances. We've got to start finishing them, and if we don't, we could actually end up drawing or losing this game as well because of our defence. So, yeah, I'm hoping we don't lose it, obviously. I hope we can pick up the win, keep getting the points in the Premier League, and then we've got something to be positive about coming back after the international break. We'll see what the lay of the land is then. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know what your lineup prediction is, if you've got one, and your score prediction as well, whether you're a Liverpool fan, Newcastle fan, or a neutral. It's all important to me, and I can talk to you in the comments as well. So, thank you ever so much for watching, as always. Subscribe if you're new around here, like the video, and I'll catch you later.